Hi, this is Ivey, the fulfillment artist, and in this video I'm going to teach you how to live a minimalist lifestyle and the experiment that I conducted for 30 days. So first of all, let's move into what is minimalism. So minimalism was created by these two dudes. They were called Joshua Milburn and Ryan Nicodemus. And basically they had their corporate jobs and they were basically very materialistic, building up everything. And then they started looking into, okay, what would happen if we stripped ourselves and we only had the sort of things that we need on like a minimalist basis. So they started decluttering. And this was like a really big thing. It's turned into a movement. They've got like 2 million followers. And the reason that I came across it was because they have a documentary. So I'd recommend checking that out. Just type in the Minimalist documentary and that will come up. So it inspired me to take on this experiment. Now, I didn't do the whole thing. I did like a smaller part. So they've got this thing called the 333 challenge, which is basically 33 items for 3 months. And it's like clothing. Instead, I thought it'd be better to do it for 30 days because that's more realistic given, I'm traveling to all these different places. So what I did is for all of March, I sat down and I looked at my entire wardrobe and I said, okay, I'm only going to have 30 items for 30 days. Now, they said that this doesn't include underwear and gym clothes and things like that. Because I was on holiday, sorry, not on holiday, because I was in LA working, I consider LA holiday because it's so sunny, that I would do it slightly differently because, I already have my suitcase. Even though I've got quite a few clothes in there, it's not the same as if I did it at home. So what I did is I said, okay, underwear, I can have as much as I want, and everything else I just picked 30 items. So I did it, and all the other items I put away. And I found it really interesting because what I was hoping to understand from the experiment was how much do I really use what I have? Because for most of us, we have incredibly large wardrobes because we're in a society where we need to get the newest thing. We've got the newest iPhone, we've got the newest gadgets, and everything seems to come to us and we just clutter, especially when it comes to clothes. You've got sales, we tend not to throw things away very often. So we just start hoarding all these things that we don't really wear very often. Now I knew of the Pareto principle, which is, 20% of what you do creates 80% of the results. For example, 20% of your clothes, you only wear 80% of the time. So it's pretty sure this is going to be an easy-ish experiment. So why don't I let you know what I learned? So the first thing I learned was that I had too much clutter in my life with regards to some of the things that I just don't wear. Like sometimes I would bring clothes with me whilst traveling that I wouldn't really ever wear. It was just kind of like a backup. And it was really a waste of space because I never really wore them. When I look back at the clothes that I had at the end, I was like, well, I would never wear these anyway. And suddenly when I returned back to England, where obviously the majority of my clothes are, I think that it really is a waste of space. So something that I'm going to look to now is decluttering and really moving all that stuff, because not only does it help you have a much more straightforward lifestyle of not worrying about, oh, should I wear this, should I wear this? It just helps with your decisions. Do you know how much time people waste? Like, I'm not very bad, but I know people that spend a lot of time going, oh, what should I wear today? Should I wear this? Should I wear that? Should I wear this? And when you start looking into having less things, it makes the decisions very easy. It just simplifies your life in an area where a lot of people overcomplicate things. So what I didn't tell you is that I also did this 30-day challenge with my girlfriend, Ev. Now, I think it's much harder for her than it is for me because within the 30-day challenge, it also includes shoes. Right? And for women, it's much harder than guys because we can wear, the same trousers for a while, shirts here and there. And because, I generally speaking work from home, even though I go to events, I don't need anywhere near as many clothes as her. So for her, she found the hardest thing was shoes. So if you're watching this as a female, you need to choose your shoes wisely if you take on this experiment. And yeah, I do think it's harder for girls because, I think it includes accessories. Just type in Minimalist challenge or something like that and it will come up. And they've got like this criteria. I sort of made my own, but if you want to follow the strict, the guidelines, check it out because you may find it a little bit easier. For the guys, really what we need is, your gym shoes, going out shoes, and then just shoe wear. but I think it will really highlight for you guys what it is that you really use and what is it that is just a waste of space. Thirdly, it made me wash my clothes every single week. And this is something that I do, but maybe it'd be every 10 days, sometimes every 2 weeks, I'd stretch it out. But because of the clothes that I had, it was every single Sunday I was washing clothes, because otherwise I'd have nothing to wear. I think that's quite good for your routine, because it keeps everything simple. It's nice to get into that routine, not having to worry. So yeah, it was really cool, and I'd really recommend doing it for that side of things. Next, it made me appreciate every single item that I have. Because you choose so wisely, you think, okay, how can I actually use this item? Like, I could use it for this, or I could use it for that, because you're going to be doing different things in the week. So it's nice to get items that are sort of transferable. Whether it's, I could wear that shirt leisurely, I could wear it for an event, or, for girls, whether, I can use that skirt for work, but I could also wear it, with something else to go out with. So it's interesting looking at the combos. That I found really, really cool. It also made me think about what clothes to save for later in the week. Now, this was interesting because I never really thought about it before, but I had to think in advance, okay, well, I've got 2 events there, so I can't wear a shirt today, so I need to save that. And that was interesting. I really enjoyed that part of the experiment. So that is pretty much everything that I learned as a whole. I mean, for myself, I live quite a minimalist lifestyle anyway. So it didn't have the sort of big impact that it has on many other people who, have access to all those clothes, wear loads of different types of clothes every single day. I certainly think that when doing this, you need to think about seasons, because I think having 30 items of clothes for each season is very, very reasonable. And certainly there's a lot of transferable things. Now, something that I will say is that I am going to do this challenge at some point. I'm just going to throw it out here just in case anyone wants to do it in the meantime. And that is this 100 item challenge. And basically, it says that you should only have 100 items in your life. Your laptop, phone, clothes, car, all of these things. So only 100 items that you own. And every time that you buy a new item, you need to throw one item away. I think that's cool. I really like that. That's something that I'm definitely going to do at some point. I'm not sure exactly when, because I'm shuttling back and forth. I can't have 100 items with me anyway. But when I do, and keep in one place for a longer period of time than 3 or 4 months, I will definitely do this challenge. So if you're watching this and you want to take it on, I would 100% recommend it, because I reckon it would be very, very interesting to see what 100 items you choose. And then it makes you so much more aware of what you buy. Because if you buy something, then you have to throw away something. So generally speaking, you only buy it when you need it. This would be great if you're doing bad with regards to budgeting and you're just spending loads. I'd really recommend it. I think it'd be really cool. So, I hope you enjoyed listening to my minimalist challenge, and I hope that you can start to live a minimalist lifestyle and give it a go. And yeah, I'll speak to you next week. Thank you for listening.